It's okay not to be okay. My name's Jeremy, and I want to reflect on my personal experiences with not being okay and how I was able to pull myself out of it and what I'm doing every day to ensure that when I do have moments of not being okay, that I make the best decision I can with what I have. Let's get started. I'll start off with sharing what I feel my purpose in life is, which is to help people operate at their highest potential through self-awareness. To me, what that means is helping people to recognize that they are not their thoughts, their words, their emotions, their physical body, their trauma, but the awareness that all of that is happening. That creates a space for one to think before they react when circumstances and people come to mold and shape us for our purpose in life, whether we know it or not, based on the things that we ask for knowingly or unknowingly. A lot to unpack there. It's okay to not be okay. I wrote a book, which you can't see it behind me, but I'll put it in the video, titled A Gift of Peace and Purpose, A Survivor's Journey. Basically, my journey as a survivor of all of the things that I went through from 0 to 28, and how around that time frame of 28 years old, I was shattered into a million pieces and had to pull everything together while finding inner peace in the purpose of my life. I was not okay when two of my family members died by suicide back to back. I was not okay when I was in an abusive relationship. I was not okay when I was trying to find love in the wrong way, in all the wrong places, from all the wrong people. I was not okay when I was trying to understand who I was in high school and trying to sort out my feelings and my identity in high school with my family, who at the time may not have understood. I was not okay when I was in middle school and high school being bullied and picked on. I was not okay when, unfortunately, certain things happened to little children. I was not okay. I allowed all of that to pile up on me, and eventually everything fell apart. I literally had to take off time from work to not only unpack everything that had happened in my life up until 28 years old, but try to pull together the pieces. When someone is not okay, regardless of what the situation is, I feel that it's a sign to go inward, to understand context and make the best decision you can with what you have. What do I mean by that? When my first family member died by suicide, that was a huge and total shock, right? And although death in all forms is difficult, the abruptness of how it happened made it so much worse. And there were moments after it happened where I could not articulate how I felt. And although people would say, be strong, don't cry, you're going to make it through it, what that was doing was distracting me from not being okay, which I needed to feel that I wasn't okay, so that way I knew to do something about it. How does one know when they're not okay? It will vary by person. For me, it was a feeling of something just being off. I at least had some self-awareness to know that I was not okay. For others, it may show up in the form of behaviors that are not adding value to your life. It may show up in the form of relationships. It may show up, or how you handle relationships. It may show up in the form of your social interactions. It may show up in the form of your eating habits or your drinking habits, or it may show up in your sleeping habits. Not being okay can take many forms. One thing that I think is important to call out is the root of what's causing you to not be okay can cause you or influence you to make certain decisions and or have certain behaviors. So that may be a sign that you're not okay to other people when you may not be able to see it yourself. What I know now is the importance of finding individuals who have been trained and who have sat on for exams and have been licensed to help people when they realize that it's not okay, by pulling up or uprooting the circumstances or the trauma or the emotions or whatever it might be that are causing them to not be okay. What I complemented that with was meditation. Meditation for me was an opportunity to sit in a place of stillness, in a place of peace, to think about the things that I had unpacked and other things with the intent of getting to the root of it, sitting in a place of no judgment and allowing it to flush out, recognizing that it was or was not adding value to my life and discarding it if it was not adding value to my life. Going back to the circumstance with the first family member, when I went to a mental health professional because I realized that things were not okay, not only did I begin to unpack what happened with that tragic moment, but I really started to unpack everything that had happened from 0 to 28. And although it was over multiple sessions, it was necessary. It was a sense of relief to say the things in a safe space that I had not voiced before, things that were rotting on the inside of me that I needed to get out. That not being okay was a sign to go inward and to uproot things and to talk about things and to challenge myself to be the best that I could by being uncomfortable with addressing things that were difficult to address. By meditating, it allowed me to dig a little bit deeper and see that those circumstances were difficult, but truly molding and shaping me for what I had been asking for, whether I knew it or not, which was ultimately preparing me for my purpose in life. So what would I say to someone who is not okay? I would say, I'm glad that you realize that you're not okay. Now you have to take action. Action is not going to be perfect all the time, but it must be consistent. Whether it's doing one thing different every day, whether it's trying something new every day, whether it's trying to address what it is every day, even though you may not get the result immediately, it's doing something, it's action. And I always recommend working with a mental health professional. Of course, you have to vet them to ensure that they're set up for success to help you with addressing what's not okay, even when you don't know what it is that you're not okay about, because them being equipped with the experience and the knowledge and tools will help create a better experience for you in becoming okay. You don't want to create the environment that will prevent you from understanding what's happening to then create a plan for your success. What I would recommend you do to complement that is some form of inner work. As I stated, mine was meditation. For you, it may be something totally different. I recommend meditation because you can do it in the safety of your own home, in the safety of your room. First, practice grounding exercises by feeling something, by smelling something like the candle behind me, feeling the texture of the carpet, seeing things, hearing things like water sounds or whatever type of music that's soothing that may not have words, instrumental preferably, to pull you present. That type of grounding exercise disrupts your thinking of what has happened or what will happen. And then when you create that sacred place or that place of clarity that I talked about in the beginning of the video, you then can go to a place within yourself that you're not judging yourself. You can say the things that need to be said, unpack the things that need to be unpacked, and ask the questions that you need to ask. You may not get the answer immediately, but through reflection, based on what you've unpacked with the mental health professional and what you've been observing throughout the journey of becoming okay, things will start to connect the more that you do it. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. That habit that you're building of going inward and talking and digesting and processing will help you to know, okay, I know that I'm not okay. I know that I have to take action. I know what I have to do. I just have to do it. I get that sometimes the way that we feel and the things that we're going through are difficult to overcome, but it's just about taking that initial step and then the next step and then the next step. If you have to crawl your way out of the situation, if you have to baby step your way out of the situation, if you have to run out of the situation, roll out of the situation, whatever it is, when you realize that you're not okay, it's okay. Again, it's a sign to go inward, to get the help that you need, to be on the path or create a plan that will help you be okay. It's not an overnight journey. It's not an overnight process. You may go backwards. You may have moments when you feel like you're not making progress, but I assure you, you recognizing that you're not okay and taking steps to be okay is better than sitting in a place of not being okay. I hope that what I've said today will help you in your journey, and know that it is not about perfection. It is about consistency. Going inward to a place of clarity and peace and no judgment, to connect the dots, reflect, pull off the layers of who you thought you were and what people have projected on you, to get to the core of you, of who you are, to be ready for what may happen as you unpack things. It's a journey, it's a process, but I have all the confidence in the world that you can make it through. It's okay to not be okay. Take action and you can make it through. Have a great day.